everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be making Zeppolis. So Zeppolis you get either in a fair or you get it at the feasts in Manhattan. We used to go to the Feast of St. Gennaro and we would pick it up there. The Zeppoli actually originated from Rome and Naples, and the origin of it actually stems all the way back as far as the Roman times, where they fried up dough and then they just sprinkled either powdered sugar on them or cinnamon. So today I'm going to give you my recipe that my father used when he made Zeppoli. So let me show you down here what you're going to need. It's very, very easy. So basically what you're going to start off with is you're going to start off with 1 teaspoon of yeast. You're going to have 1 cup of hot water, or 1 cup of room temperature water. It has to be at least 115 degrees. You're going to need, basically, you're going to need a tablespoon of sugar, and you're going to need a teaspoon of salt. So the first thing we're going to, and of course you're going to need 2 cups of flour, a tiny bit of olive oil. I'll show you what that's for. So you're going to take your water, which is, I think it's almost, yeah, which is a cup. I already got the temperature. It's at least 115 to 120 degrees. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the yeast in, which happens to be 1 teaspoon. So I'm going to add that to that. And then I'm also going to add the 1 tablespoon of sugar into that also. The sugar actually helps the yeast kind of like mix together well. So we're going to mix that up. Okay, and we're just gonna set that aside. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is, while we're waiting for the yeast, we're gonna actually start putting together the flour. Okay, so now that we're waiting for the yeast to rise, the yeast to mix and to actually mix with the water and the sugar, that's gonna take anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. So you're gonna keep that aside. In a separate bowl, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the dry ingredients. We're gonna use 2 cups of flour. And to that 2 cups of flour, we're going to be adding basically 1 teaspoon of salt. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually mix this up. I'm going to mix the salt and the flour up before I add the yeast. So, okay, so right now that's all there is to it. We're going to be adding the yeast mixture into here, but we're going to wait at least 5 to 10 minutes for the yeast mixture to actually incorporate, to do what it has to do, and I'll come back in a sec. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, and remember, I have a tablespoon of salt and I have 2 cups of flour in the bowl. The yeast and the sugar and the water mixture is done. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to add that to our dry ingredients. And basically what we want to do is we want to make a dough. So you want to just keep stirring it around until it comes together like a dough. Actually very dry. You could add a little bit more water, which I'm going to do. that you're looking for. We don't need the water anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover this with saran wrap. We're going to cover this with saran wrap, and we're going to put it in a warm plate, and we're going to let it proof for a while. It's got to either double or triple in size. So let me go get the saran wrap. Okay, so you're going to cover it with cling wrap. I already got one on there already. I'm going to put another piece on so it's nice and airtight. Okay, I'm going to take my towel. I'm going to put my towel over it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the oven with the light on, not the oven on, but just the light on. I'm just going to keep it in the oven, and I'm going to let it stay for about an hour and a half. Meanwhile, what I have on the stove, so I have my oil in the pot, I have my temperature gauge, which the oil should be at 300, so right now it's at 279, but I shut the oven off because I'm waiting for the dough to actually proof. And on the side, what you're going to need is, if you have a cookie tray and you want to put some paper towels, because once you take it out of the oil, you want to put it on the paper towel. If you don't have a paper towel, a tray, a cookie sheet, you can do it on a plate, but put paper towels down so it soaks up. But I like it on a cookie sheet because I can spread them out, and later on what we're going to do is we're going to basically sprinkle a little bit of powdered sugar on top of that, but I'll show you that in the video coming up ahead. So we're just going to wait about an hour and a half for the dough to proof, to basically double, triple up in size, and we'll start making the Zeppolis.